Hello, Jarrett and Tre'vell, longtime listener and big fan of the show here. I was wondering if you all have been watching the Ultimatum Queer Love and whether you had thoughts about it. If so, I would love to hear them. I think it's really ripe for the FANTI treatment. It's trash TV with all the absurdity of reality dating plot lines, the villain treatment, the way we don't know hardly anything about the characters as actual people, but it's the first queer dating reality show, and that brings something so special to the show. Specifically, the cast seems to be so much more invested in talking about their feelings, prioritizing their healing in order to be good partners, consider gender roles. It's really interesting. Plus, so much drama and emotion. LOL. It's also super racially diverse, and I'd love to hear y'all's take on it.
So when we got this email a while back, I was like, I am not going to watch that shit.
You have.
But since I binged the entire series in a day, and like I watched the whole thing, I do want to just note a couple of things. It's not the first first queer dating reality show. We've had a few different things.
I think they meant specifically of the Ultimatum
in this canon of the series. Yes. So there's that. But like I have been wanting something queer from these shows because if you watch The Ultimatum, you may be familiar also with Love is Blind. They're kind of related shows, or they're from the same company and hosted by the same people, which never makes sense to me. But anyway, did you watch this at all?
I did not.
Okay, so just a couple of things here. I did not find the show to be incredibly diverse. There was a good mix on there. I thought there was my favorite was, I think everyone's favorite, the black lesbian woman named Mal. I agree with you that this show has been really great in like being able to, if you're one of those people who likes therapy and like good conversation and all that kind of stuff, they have a lot of that on this show, which is really great to me, and I really enjoy it. I think we also are just seeing like more mature people on this show that are having different kinds of conversations than you see on other kinds of shows that are geared to like a different kind of dater, a different kind of dating show watcher. But like I actually really enjoyed this series more than I thought I would. So yes, I guess we wouldn't do it necessarily a FANTI on it since you haven't seen it, Tre'vell, but it is an interesting concept. For those of you that aren't familiar, essentially it's for couples who are ready to one of the partners has given an ultimatum to their partner, and that person has then brought them into the show experience where they will go and do a trial marriage for 3 weeks with someone else, and then they will come back to their partner, and then they will make a decision on if they'll get married to the person that they came with, or they'll get engaged to the other person, or they'll leave single. Which part of it is like a bit absurd, but like it's also very interesting to see them go into a marriage with someone else. And this one is all queer women and non-binary folks, and so yeah, it's a really great show.
Well, I will also use this opportunity in this moment to plug my book, We See Each Other, a Black trans journey through TV and film. I have a chapter on reality. It works. Hold on.
I love that. I was like, I think you're actually going somewhere, and I appreciate it, bitch. I go in.
It has a chapter on reality television in which I discuss a queer dating reality show, a couple technically, actually, as they, these relate specifically to transness. But the point that you made about the queer dating reality show, I just wanted to shout those out. Trans American Love Story, which is a bachelorette style show, in which the contestants were competing for the love of Calpurnia Adams. And then there is a show out of the UK, actually, called Something About Miriam, which is, a complex history with that particular show. But it was also a bachelorette style show, in which the male people who were competing for the love of Miriam did not know that she was trans. And the entire conceit of the show is that she would choose a guy and reveal to him on camera that she was trans, and we'll see what happens. There's also a podcast related to that Trace Lissette hosts, called what is the name of that podcast? I think it's called There's Something About Miriam. And so, check out those other things in relation to this queer dating reality show conversation. All right?
Do you have a favorite queer dating reality show before we move on?
Well, I'm going to do one of those. You know how like I felt the need to define, and oftentimes we define queer, the word queer, in so many different ways, right? And so I believe there's some quote. Ooh, I gotta find it. Go first. I have to find the quote before I give my answer.
Oh no, this feels like a setup.
No, it's not. It's not a setup. It's not a setup. I mean, it actually might be a setup, but
I mean, it definitely is one. I would say my favorite queer reality dating show was Are You the One? Season 8, the queer season of that series. Probably my favorite. Did you find your quote yet? Your mouth is open, so you're searching. I can tell that you're still.
I am still searching. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. I forget the quote. I'm gonna butcher it right now, but it's about like queer, not about like who you're in love with, but about it was like basically it's a definition of queer that's about like a political stance and like pushing up against whatever the structures and status quo is. And so when you asked me the question of my favorite queer reality dating show, I had that type of definition, like a more pushing against things definition in my head. And so what immediately came to mind was Flavor of Love.
This was actually more of a setup than you might have realized. Flavor of Love hits for you as queer?
Queer in terms of like a socio-political definition of queer. That's why I gave that whole definition. Were you not paying attention?
No, I was, but I feel like we took the long way on that one.
Well, if I had the definition, it would have hit a lot. My delivery would have been better. It would have been tighter.
Fair enough. I'm gonna give you that.
Okay.